From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Andrea Lutz. Although it's not even Halloween quite yet, holiday travel coming up pretty quickly. We're going to get to that story in a minute, but first. Former Secretary of State and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Colin Powell, has died. Here's today's leading look. The 84-year-old died of complications from COVID-19. He was fully vaccinated but battled underlying conditions, including Parkinson's disease. Powell spent his final years in the private sector. Well, this afternoon, the FBI is on the ground assisting in hostage negotiations in Haiti. 16 American missionaries and family members and 1 Canadian were abducted just outside of the capital city, including 5 children. A notorious gang known for kidnappings and killings is suspected of the abduction. A surge in gang violence has displaced thousands and hampered Haiti's already poor economy. Jury selection starts for the 3 men charged with killing Ahmed Arbery in Georgia last year. Prosecutors say the 3 white men hunted him down and executed him while he was jogging. The men face charges of murder and aggravated assault. A new study shows more than half of coronavirus survivors experience symptoms months after they recover. Researchers using 57 studies found 54% of survivors experienced long-term symptoms. Symptoms ranging from mental health disorders, mobility, and respiratory problems. While the price of rent is going up sharply across the country. The latest numbers show rent went up 0.5% in September. Well, that is the biggest increase seen since 2001. That's today's leading look.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. We do have a lot of cloud cover out there, but temperatures staying above average. To the west, we're looking at highs in the 60s. Off to our east, we're looking at temperatures getting into the 70s. But we do have a cold front that's going to be making its way in. It's going to give us some snow in the higher elevations down there in northern parts of Wyoming. Where is that cold front at right now? Well, there you go. You can see some cloud cover out ahead of that. But we're keeping an eye on that area of low pressure that's going to give us that moisture for the next couple of days. And then off to the west, we still have a chance to see some rain maybe on Wednesday. Most of us, though, are going to stay dry moving forward. But as we get into the weekend and all the way through the end of the month, these are the latest models that we are leaning wetter than average. These are trends that could change, but something we'll keep our fingers crossed about because we could really use the moisture. Main forecast straight ahead.
More than 1,000 Americans are still dying every day from COVID-19, according to Johns Hopkins University. Most of them are unvaccinated. This week, the FDA and CDC may approve booster shots for millions of Americans, giving them even more protection against the virus. Here's Laura Podesta with the story.
The nation's top health agencies could approve booster shots for the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines this week.
It's very, very clear that there's waning immunity and that we do need to boost individuals who've received any of the 3 products.
An FDA advisory panel recommended the 2 boosters last week.
I think it's critical that we prevent infection as much as we can.
It's now up to the FDA and CDC to give the final green light, nearly a month after doing the same for Pfizer. The agencies may allow Americans to get a different booster than what they originally received, specifically for the 15 million who got the Johnson & Johnson shot.
Getting the same one is okay, and you will get enough protection to get you through Delta. But if you want a little bit more protection, mixing may have some benefit.
77% of Americans 12 and older have received at least 1 shot. Many public and private organizations want 100% of their employees protected against the virus. Today, Los Angeles teachers need to have at least 1 shot in order to work. 97% have met that requirement.
It shows that they are really committed to their profession and to protecting students.
Some California parents are keeping their children home from school today. They're protesting a statewide student vaccine mandate that will go into effect months from now, once the FDA grants full approval for different age groups. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
With the holidays right around the corner and travel picking up throughout the U.S., airports are expecting to see an increase in the number of people departing and arriving. It is estimated that way more people will be traveling during the holidays this year as the world comes out of COVID-19 shutdowns. As the travel industry is rebounding, if you are planning on traveling, you can expect the Missoula airport to be busy, but not as busy as a summer day.
So on a peak summer day, we're probably in that 2,000 to 2,200 per day departing. Right now we're in that 1,000, 1,200 range. So for Christmas, we'll probably be somewhere in that 1,200 to 1,500 range per day.
Although the summertime is the busiest time to travel here in Missoula, the airport says they can still expect to see an increased number of people traveling during the holiday season. So it's best to make sure that you get there early and be prepared for those lines.
Be patient, get here a little bit earlier, and just enjoy instead of rushing at the last minute. Just get here, take your time, get through security, and then just be at your gate.
Masks are mandatory in the airport and on planes. At the Missoula airport, if you forget your mask, they have some available. COVID-19 precautions like social distancing are still recommended despite vaccine status. Another important thing to keep in mind before traveling is rental cars and hotels. If needed, make sure to make those reservations early enough before prices rise, as they are expected to after Halloween. In Missoula, Hannah Hislop, MTN News.